Hey there, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review. Today's review for Thursday, April 22nd. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the Zenabis global stock and whether or not ZENA is a buy at these levels, what to expect ahead of the HEXO merger. So before we jump into that, we'll look at some news and events on the day, and then we'll look at the ZENA chart and what to expect heading into the merger. We also have the shareholder vote on May 13th coming up as well. So before we jump in, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. I'll also put some timestamps in the description below. But don't expect Senate MJ banking bill vote anytime soon, says key chairman. And also Florida, some negative news today. Supreme Court kills 2022 MJ legalization initiative that hundreds of thousands of people had signed. Also, Virginia governor signs MJ bill legalizing possession from July 1st. So some positive news there on that front. But key U.S. senator downplays hopes for quick action on the MJ banking bill. So another media outlet there, MJ Biz Daily, covering that same thing. And MJ consumption grew in 2020 according to Statistics Canada. Data suggests, you can check out that article in its entirety for more detail on that. And also the Valens Company increases domestic reach with distribution agreement in Yukon Territory. Also, MJ MSO Verano makes $175 million expansion move in Pennsylvania, and this came after TerraSand and Truly both announced roughly $60 million in acquisition deals in the same state, and lots of initiatives there in Pennsylvania among the big MSOs. Moving on to the Zenabis chart. So taking a look at the weekly here, we are in a weekly downtrend. We are losing the EMAs, and we did top out at EMA 12 here on the weekly. We've still yet to see those weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on Zenabis, which we have seen on quite a few other names. We've yet to see it on APHA. It's already happened on ACB. CGC, I believe it's getting close. Yes, it is. HEXO still yet to cross as well. Taking a look at Tilray, it has been a little bit weaker, still yet to cross there. But we are confirming weekly downtrends, but we're not seeing a whole lot of follow through yet. And Zenabis just confirming weekly downtrends within the last couple of weeks. If we take a look at MSOS, it confirmed weekly downtrends here at the end of March. So MSOS was the heads up and the early clue that we could potentially see that trickle down into the Canadian sector as well. But Zenabis and HEXO definitely holding up the best in terms of the LPs in Canada, in my opinion, as we haven't seen a whole lot of follow through, and they're just confirming their weekly downtrends as of late. But taking a look at Zenabis on the daily time frame, could we have potentially bottomed out? It's entirely possible. We had support here at 9 cents, and we hit a low of 9 cents. And from that low, we were up today. We hit 11.5 cents. We were up about 30% from that low. So congrats to the bulls who did buy the dip on Zenabis. And it was also a daily oversold bounce that's underway. And what bulls are hoping for is as big of a bounce as possible here on the daily, so that we can form a big enough room here on the daily time frame to form a higher low and change that daily trend. The weekly time frame, again, on the 10-week moving average is extremely bearish. The 10-week moving average sitting at 13 cents. So if we could close above 13 cents by the end of the week tomorrow, that would be extremely bullish. But at the moment, we are very bearish on the weekly time frame. And on the moving averages on the weekly, we did bounce off the 50 weekly moving average, which is at 9 cents, and a lot of support in that 9 cents area. We also have the 200-day moving average at 9 cents. So could this be the bottom on Zenabis? It's entirely possible. We are finding resistance, though, at the VWAP, which is at 11 cents on the weekly. So it was holding as support, now new resistance. So we'll be watching EMA 26 as well here on the daily. You can see that it rejected the price here back on April 9th, and we knew to be watching out for the EMAs. Pretty much all names today topped out at their EMA 12. HEXO topped out at EMA 12 as well. Tilray, EMA 12, Sundial, VFF. So a lot of names couldn't even get over EMA 12. Zenabis standing out, getting up to its EMA 26 there. And like I said, about a 30% move off the lows. Impressive bounce. That gap and that discount between HEXO and Zenabis shrunk quite a bit today. So if we factor in the price, I'll just bring up, so we close at 10.5 cents. So I'll just bring up the TSX version of HEXO. So when you're factoring in this conversion, you need to use the TSX version because we're using Zenabis, which is in Canadian dollars. So we want to use the same denomination, which is CAD. So we will take the price of Zenabis, which is 0.105, so 10.5 cents, and we divide that by the ratio of the deal price, which is 0.1772. I've got that memorized. So that would mean that if you purchased Zenabis at 10.5 cents, you're essentially buying HEXO for $5.92 Canadian, and HEXO is currently at $6.85. So if we just divide that, for quick math, we divide that by 685. So you're looking at about a 14% discount. That gap was today at 11. I sold today most of my Zenabis at 11.5 cents. So I think I filled at 11, and then I bought HEXO at about $7 Canadian. So I told myself when I bought Zenabis, it was about a 25% discount compared to the HEXO share price. So now that we're seeing that basically in line, it was about 8% discount. So that was good enough for me. I sold about 75% of my Zenabis shares and bought HEXO on the TSX because of that, that gap shortening and just getting smaller in terms of that discount. But I am holding about 25% of those ZENA shares through that merger, just in case we see a huge run up in Zenabis. But it does certainly look like we may have potentially set a bottom. And 9 cent support is going to be extremely important, the 50 weekly moving average and the 200-day moving average. On the bear list, we had CanTrust, SNDL, and HEXO, followed by VFF. On the bull list, we had RIV, VLNS, and Love. So again, EMA 12, rejecting most names. That's going to be on deck tomorrow. And most names still in weekly and daily downtrends. So the best case scenario for bulls is to see this daily oversold bounce, get as much of a bounce as possible, allow enough room for a higher low and a daily trend change, and then we can be confident that the weekly bottoms are set and those temporary bottoms. But again, SPY was weak today. I did a video on Joe Biden's proposal of tax plan of 43.4%, as high as 43.4%. So check out my video from earlier on that and what that could mean for the market, but definitely spooked the market today. And again, MJ is not set up well at all if we see further weakness. Crypto showing some weakness as well. So on the American side, we had KHRN, NBEV, and GRWG leading the decline. On the bull list, we had KBEV, EN, MMEN. And just taking a look at MSOS, so we are back below $40. And again, topping out at EMA 12. And it's a potential daily bear flag at this point. And it's going to be all about hitting daily oversold. It's going to be all about those EMA 12s. On most names, about 80, if not 90% of the names out there. And then once we get over EMA 12, we'll be eyeing EMA 26 on most names. And again, bulls hoping for that big of a bounce as possible to form a higher low and change those daily trends. So we're going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review. Let me know in the comments below if you are still buying Zenabis, if you're starting to shift your focus over to HEXO. Let me know if you're going to be voting on May 13th for that acquisition and whether or not you approve. I highly encourage you to get out there and vote regardless of your decision. So with that, thanks again for joining us, and make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. It shows me some support, and we shall see you tomorrow after market close for another daily market recap. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on the next update.